Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. I'm doing well. It's been kind of crazy here lately. Got a lot of stuff that came in, and I've got a lot of stuff to go through. The new Final Girl, Series 3, got that from Miniature Market. I brought in a game that I never got before, and I thought it'd be fun with the family during holiday time, because we're always they're always asking me to play a game, and the last thing you want to do when you are you're having a holiday and you do this, you're taping and then learning rules and stuff like that. The last thing you want to do at the holidays is play a game. Plain and simple. I really don't want to play a game. But if I usually try to find something simple that we could play, and I brought in this Ready, Set, Bet. It's small, condensed, so I thought that would be cool. And then Hostage Negotiator came out with a ultimate box set. So we brought that in, and so now I'm just trying to get everything arranged and things that I want to keep, like this stuff, because I know I'm going to play it and use it because it's small and doesn't take up a lot of space. And then this next auction is going to be a lot of big stuff, and we're going to try to get as much as I humanly possibly out. Colin, how are you? You are looking well, says Colin. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. A bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about today. Of course, as you know, I'm starting a little later today. Not because of daylight savings time. It's because we're keeping an eye on Elsie. Elsie is about to deliver any day now, and we're holding our breath. This stuff makes me nervous. Nature takes its course, nature does its thing, but it doesn't make it any easier on the soul. That's for doggone sure. And you just hope the old girl just does well. And she's a good cow. She's such a good cow. She's one of our best ones. And I've been filming it, putting it in the shorts, so you can see how big she's getting, and her udders are filled to, or teats as they call them. I always call them udders. Maybe I should call them rudders and just drive everybody insane and get 900 emails. But yeah, so Tammy and I had started working on the next auction, and we've been putting boxes together, putting stuff together. There's a lot of big games, and I've made some boxes up of some stuff, and we're finally going to get to the point where I think we can start moving things around, and we have some ideas. Matter of fact, we got in a disagreement this morning. Not really a disagreement. We don't fight. We're not two people fight, or yell or scream at each other. We never do that. But when you go after a man's comic books, that's when you got to draw a line. I know this is overwhelming, but this is kind of a business, and I think she understands that a bit. But for me, don't mess with my comic books, because there's a package coming in, because I use Atomic Empire, and let me tell you something. If you are a comic book fan, okay, do yourself a favor. Go to Atomic Empire, okay, and utilize their they have a system, a subscription system. First of all, they give you a ton of money off, okay, which is fantastic. So you save a couple shekels. Number two, those books come pristine. They bag and board everything, okay, which it makes it so much easier, and they're always done to perfection. I mean, I don't know who does it there, but everything, they never miss. They never skip something. They never screw you out of something. Nothing. The box, I've never seen a box packed that good. As a matter of fact, if I packed boxes that good, I, I, I wouldn't see. I don't even know what to say, but my God, everything comes perfect. I mean, you can take the box and you can throw it against the wall, and nothing would get banged up. I mean, that's how well they pack things, and I really like. And then you can set a limit. So, like my limit is, do not send me the comic books until it reaches a certain threshold. Okay, so I'm not getting a box every week. So, matter of fact, what did I up it to? Yeah, I think I up it to $150. So it comes like every 6 weeks or something like that, maybe a little bit more than that. And then I get a box, and it's like Christmas, and you open it up, and it's like the best thing ever, And I just really, I'll never go to another comic store because they used to screw up everything. Then they would give certain things to people. For them, you're faceless. Okay, you don't mean anything to them. So what they do, not that you don't mean anything to them, it's just there were certain ways that they would do things. I mean, comic shops around here and stuff like that. Then you got to drive there every week. And then if you don't pick it up every week, they start, well, you didn't come this week, so we took this way. They put it aside. They take care of it, and they do a tremendous business, and it's just absolutely glorious, right? This is a board gaming channel, but we're talking comic books. But to get to it, hey, I got to chew up an hour like I normally do. It started by saying, hey, you're cleaning out all that space, but you got a box coming in tomorrow from some kind of thing about a number. I go, yeah, that's my comic books. She goes, where are you going to put it? I mean, she made it seem like I was getting like 2,000 comic books. I go, Tammy, it's a subscription. I only get once a month. And she goes, well, maybe you should stop and just read the ones you have. I go, well, I have read them, and I'm going to continue to read them, but I keep them. And it comes down to, in a way, she goes, well, it's overflowing from here, overflowing there, because I do have a lot of comic books. And I'm kind of like, don't mess with my comic books. I mean, I've had them for years and years and years, and it's just something that you don't screw with a guy's comic books. Nothing I love more than when I have to go into the reading room, as we call it, and just, sit there, do my thing, and read. Or sometimes I'll just sit in the chair. I've got a big easy chair, and I'll just sit there and just read. And it's good for the mind instead of playing video games all the time or this or that. And I true, I'm not getting younger. You're not going to reread them a whole bunch, but I kind of didn't disagree with her, but it's kind of hard. There's just certain things that you want to be a collector at. Okay. Being a collector in board games, one box is almost like 40 comics, 30 comics. So, and especially GMT box, that's about 30 comics. So, board gaming does take up a lot more room. But getting back to what I was talking about, this is where I'm at the point where I'm making big decisions, and the only people that are going to win out of this is you guys, because I've got to. I think after this one, I really start to be able to get where I need to be, and then I think I'll do one more after this. because this month, matter of fact, March 30th, I've been doing this for 10 years. And as you saw from the comment, what is that? JIYMI. Hello from Reunion Island. Well, how you doing? One of the things that I've been thinking about is, I'm coming up on 10 years of doing this. March 30th will be 10 years. We're not there yet. Let's see if I make it there. All right. And 10 years is a long time. 10 years is a long, long time. Putting in a lot of hours every single week. And I wasn't somebody that, when I first started doing this, it was 1 or 2 videos a week. But, after a month, I always had something I had to say. And then it became 4 and 5 videos. And then sometimes it was up to 8, 9 videos. Now I got it down to, a bunch of shorts. I do three videos during the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes I throw in on Tuesday. Then we do something live on Sunday, every Sunday. So, you're around 5 videos. 4 or 5 videos a week, and it's almost 20 videos a month. Okay, that's quite a few videos. As a matter of fact, if you look over the 10 years, I'm almost to 5,000 videos. I mean, do the math on that. Hold on, let's do the math. Let's do the math. So I think it was at 4,500. Well, we'll just keep it there. I think 4,500 videos. So 10 years, 365 days. 365 days times 10 equals, okay. And take that number. 3,650 days. That's how much 10 years is? Huh. Okay. 4,500 divided by 3,650 equals, it's almost 2 videos a day. Imagine putting out 2 videos a day. It's insane. You got to edit it, you got to upload it, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to read, you got to do that. And over the last 10 years, there have been a lot of up and downs of being in this business. And unfortunately, it is a business in a way. And I started thinking to myself, I go, gee, was this all really worth it? Or did, I kind of waste my time? And I think it's a little bit of both. There have been some really rewarding moments. There's been some great people. I've had some fun playing some of this stuff. When we were at the other house and I was able to do a lot of the live stuff, I've always looked forward to that. I would get out of work, come home. Matter of fact, I almost, during COVID, I did, I think it was 70-something days in a row. I did live videos to try to help people while they were, sequestered. And then, I would do at least 2 or 3 live videos a week, and not only that, but put out content. Sunday mornings we had the Subudio League. Doing all these things, and I started thinking to myself, boy, I didn't fish as much, I didn't do this as much, I didn't go here or there or that, and I put a lot into it, and I wondered, was it all worth it in the end? And you can't have that time back, and you kind of scratch your head a little bit. Excuse me, my mouth's dry. Little Gabby would be out here with me all the time, and Bella, and when I could have been out playing ball with them, and in a way, it became a bit of an obsession. Making videos. You wanted to give everything you could to everybody, and you wanted to reach people and tell your story. And there's just so many great people. Ricky Royal is probably one of the, when I start that, I did a video about Rodney Smith, how he inspired me to do this, and how we've become pretty good friends, and a guy I really admire, but when I start thinking about people I admire, the Ricky Royals, I miss Tina, Tina the board gamer. She was another one that early on, just really had some great ideas, but she decided to be a certified genius and get out of the board gaming world early. She could have been huge. She should have been huge. She was that good. Her and that little stick. We became close friends, and we would do things together and go to conventions together. Some of the companies I've met, that have just been fantastic. I've met a lot of great people. Aldi, who I think is one of the nicest guys on the planet. One of the things I always said, I wasn't going to stop doing this until I finally got to meet Ricky Royal at a convention. Fortunately, he's over in Britain, so I don't think I'll ever make it over there. But, it's just one of those things, you just, you run into a lot of fantastic, wonderful people, and then you run into some schmucks. Oh, dear God. And I think there's more schmucks than good people. But, I'd rather focus on the good people, like Chaz, who, oh God, he used to make me laugh. We'd make each other laugh. He's a funny guy. And he's really kind of introverted, but boy, you put a camera in front of him, it's a whole different ball game. We've enjoyed some good times together. And just a lot of people. Pete from CMON, who's become a very close friend, especially in my virtual reality world. We always talk a lot and everything like that. The great companies, everything Epic has always been good to me. GMT, Chip Theory Games is one of my favorite companies of all time. Designers, Richard Launius, all these positive experiences that I took from it, really make all that work worth it, It's funny because when I got into board gaming, I wasn't somebody that really had to know who a designer was or an artist was. I just saw a game, saw the cover, went, okay, I like dungeon crawls. I want to play this game. And I never cared if it was made by a Corey Kaczynski or an Eric Lang or anything like that. I cared. I didn't give two. Matter of fact, I didn't even know who half these people were. But one guy I did get to know, and that's Richard Launius, who to this day we always write each other, and very, very good friend of Pete's, a very good friend of mine, and one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Mark Walker from Flying Pig, the guys from Flying Frog, Cool Mini or Not has always been good to this channel, and I've built a lot of relationships that I'm very, very proud of. After this time, I'm not giving you my 10-year speech. That's at the end of the month, because at the end of the month I'm going to let you know what the future of this channel is, and what I finally made a decision on what I want to do, and I'm just kind of talking about, was it all worth it? In a lot of ways, it really, really was. And, some people, the bad part is that, you know, it wasn't a kumbaya thing. It was always this fake, you know, when people would meet you, it was always fake and trying to figure out how they can outdo you. After all, it is a business. People wanted to be famous. People wanted to make money. And I tried not to keep that in my heart. First couple of years, I think I was driven by that kind of thought. Oh, I need 1 million subscribers. Oh, I need this. I need that. And I've talked about this before. And then eventually I've gotten to the point where I am now where I really don't care. I do it out of, like I said, for me, it's very therapeutic. It's being able to talk to you guys, being able to help certain people and do certain things. And, you know, help certain designers and or people that are doing Kickstarters. You know, there's certain things I turn down, and then there's other things that I really, you know, try to do the best I can to help somebody. I don't have, you know, I really am on the back nine of this, and I think, you know, a lot of the older guys, smaller guys like myself, do get, you know, we're not the cult of the new thing, you know. You know, if I had to put it towards a game, you know, I'm defender of the realm. I'm defenders of the realm. And there are like 15 billion other games that have come out in the last couple of years that you kind of forget that it's on your shelf. And that's kind of what the channel has done. And I'm okay with that. But I think you get, you know, you start to, you never want to jump the shark or worry about jumping the shark. You know, the old Happy Days saying. I saw that not too long ago when they all went to California. It's like 100 degrees on, and he's got a leather jacket on and shorts. And he decides to jump a shark. It was the funniest thing. Good old Happy Days. Used to love that show. I think everybody did. People used to love TV. Hello from France, he says. Well, hello, my friend. I hope you are well. I hope you are well. See, it's things like this. You get people from all over different parts of the world and stuff like that, and makes it really interesting to talk about, you know, these things. And I try to put things into a perspective. You know, moving here, you know, getting really sick when I did, moving here really kind of slowed down some of the momentum I was really building. And, you know, but you keep going out of pride, you know, out of love for, you know, bring certain information. But as things piled up like they are, you know, you start realizing one day you wake up and you go, wow, I've got way, way, way too much. Way too much. And I'm never going to get to it all. So what do I do? Well, you know, maybe it's just time to, you know, kind of decide, you know, what stays, what doesn't. And that's hard. Because, you know, like I said, a lot of things mean stuff to you. You know, I did a video recently, you know, how do you go from being a kind of a, you know, because we all become collectors in some way. What is your best dungeon crawl board game? Oh, that's easy. It's Warhammer Quest 95, my friend. Every single time. And my good friend Little Monk really just breathes a lot of life into that game with some of the unofficial expansions that he's made. And, you know, if you have that game will live forever. Thanks to him. I mean, just good people doing good things. Another guy, just fantastic guy, Little Monk. I can't speak any higher about a human being than I could about him. Um, I just, it's been such a journey. It's been such, when you look back at it, and it's helped me in so many ways. Um, I wasn't somebody that had a lot of friends, and Warhammer Quest 95 is the base game. Yes, it is. It came out in 1995. There are other Warhammer Quests that came out a few years ago that weren't very good. They're totally different games. But the original Warhammer Quest is the best. Hi, Rob, from a very sunny UK. I am starting to realize that at 63, hold on, I gotta put on my glasses to finish this. At 63, I'm never going to have the time to play all the games that I have. I definitely don't need to add any new ones. I'm kind of... You see, my thing is, and this is where you run into a problem, when you have a certain thing that you're a big fan of, and they come out with more of it, how do you go, well, no, I got enough. I don't need it. Like Hoplomachus, or anything from Chip Theory Games. For me, I love Chip Theory Games, and I'm very passionate about my love for them, and I've been called a fanboy, and I am. So what, and when they come out with something new, I definitely want it, and because I know I'm going to play it. Okay, or if there's more expansions, like the latest Hoplomachus stuff came out. Well, I've been playing that. I've been enjoying it, especially late at night. I've been having a lot of pain problem, and I just haven't. I've decided to. I'll get up and I'll come out here and I'll play stuff. Final Girl. I'm a big fan of small little solo games that I can have a good time with and get a real laugh out of. And I'll do that. And there are certain things that, you really run into this problem where you think, well, my grandson, the kid is brilliant, just like his father. And I'm not saying that because he's my grandson, but it's true. And as I look around here and I go, well, why am I keeping that? Well, there's a reason I'm keeping that. And there's things that I keep on thinking, well, I painted that. I want to play it at some point. And you kind of fight with yourself a little bit and go, well, after 4 years, I still haven't played it yet. And, what, Rob? What are you doing? And I think when I have Tammy out here, she kind of puts into perspective, you're not going to play that. Okay. Like, I was really confused with Ultimate Tanara's Adventure and the Arena. And I've got tons of all that Arena stuff. Well, I think it's maybe time to get rid of all the Arena stuff and just keep it down to the Ultimate Tavares or whatever adventure, and kind of let go of a lot of things that I don't want to let go of, and just realize that all right, if I condense it down enough and try to keep it categorized a little bit, keep it smart, and because what I want to do is I want to turn this, I want to make this table smaller. Originally when we came here, the whole point of this massive table was because my son was going to work out here and I was going to do my thing out here, and I wanted to make room for us both. So I made this huge 12-foot by 8-foot table. Way too big. So if I take an 8-foot by 8-foot and slide it over there against that wall in the corner, okay, and maybe have a couple of racks up top and a couple of racks behind me so you can't see the door over there, that'd be it. And I'd free up like half this room here. And just trying to get to that point where I can do that is insane. Hold on, let me see what he says. Is this an impression where we can really say that everything was better before? As far as... you kind of lost me there for a second, my friend. Are you talking about Warhammer 90, Warhammer Quest 95 paper? Let me put this over here for a second. I have a lot of stuff from the old days that I think is better than the newer stuff. But something, when you really think about it, and you bring up a thing about the newer stuff, the newer stuff is better quality. Okay, they can do things a lot better than make things a lot better graphically and so forth and so on. Back in the older days, you kind of had to use your imagination a little bit more. Now you guys know I always get her my mother-in-law a scratch ticket when I deliver her the paper today. I say it every week, and here is today's thing. Well, today I got nothing. One word in one puzzle. No, that's impossible. You can't do that. 2 words in the second puzzle, and nothing for the bonus. So that didn't last long, my winning anything. Thank you for the ticket. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Now I feel bad. Now I gotta go buy her another ticket. Games, movies, series. I think that a lot of people go, oh, the older days were better, this, that, the other. No, the newer days, there's better special effects and this, that, and the other. I think they're two separate things. I think they're two different worlds. I kind of feel like I like a lot of older movies, but then a new movie will come along, Can you compare the old Dune from 80, I think it was 84, 82, somewhere in there, to the one that just came out? The two-parter that came out. I think the newest version of Dune really captures everything that you would hope that you wanted from the Dune movie. David Lynch's Dune still holds a special place in your heart because that's all you had. But you can't say that it wasn't better acted, it wasn't better visually, it wasn't better storytelling. Even the miniseries that came later, in between these two, So, they're two different things. Board gaming back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s is different than the 2000s and 10s and 20s. Okay? They're two different universes. War games are night and day, visually. I think when you really... That's true, Deplorable. The old Dune had Sting and Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Can't beat that. No, because it means something to you. And it really becomes, I don't think you could compare. They're two different things. Everything is different. can you compare Warhammer Quest 95 to League of Dungeoneers, or Dungeon Universalis, or what else is new that came out? Some of the other stuff. It's kind of hard to do, and I think deep in, people have fond memories of things, and then when they pull it out, they realize, oh wow, this wasn't as good. That's the whole point, is that it was a different era. Okay, it did different things for you. It meant different things to you. Those memories that you have as a kid. I'll tell you a story, something, but I just want to say, Jar of Dice says, greetings from sunny and warm Poland. I'm a proud Polish person, and it's always good to see people from Poland, that's for sure. Some years ago, I grew up in a little town in Foxon, Connecticut, East Haven, and used to live on a street called Edge Hill Drive, and it seemed like it was the biggest universe in the world, because right across, right from us, there was a hill that led to a mountain, and you go over the mountain, and there was Lake Saltonstall, and you weren't supposed to fish there. And then we had a dam, and we had a river, and we had a little corner store, and the neighborhood was so big you would ride your bike around it twice and you'd be exhausted, okay, and things like that. Some years later, I took my daughter to show where I grew up, and when I got out of the car, I didn't realize, you looked around, it wasn't the same. Not in the sense of the house has changed or the neighborhood changed. I was bigger. And you go, wow, this seemed so much of a bigger world when I was small. And you just realize that, oh my God, I remember things so much differently from my youth. And it kind of catches up with you a little bit, like you walk 10 steps, you just walked by 3 houses, and you went, oh my God, this used to take me forever to go down. My mother would yell at me if I went down 3 houses. And things change, and you don't remember them the same way. So I think for once, when I really looked at it, when I compare games, to what I remember, to, when I start digging things out, like I find the little pouch pack of Ogre, and I go, oh my God, and then I open it up, I go, boy, I'm glad I got that big designer edition, and it's the same game, but, you just remember taking that little pack over your friends, keeping it in your parka as you were trying to get down the street, and then we would break it out and play for like hours upon hours. There wasn't this overwhelming, there wasn't something new coming out every day. It's the same thing with video games in a way. Do you remember video games as fondly as you do, the games of today? A lot of people like the retro game, but when you go back and you play an Atari 2600 game compared to something that you would play today, you go, okay, this is neat remembering this, but in all honesty, this isn't that great. But you got to remember, we didn't have games coming out every single week. Okay, we didn't have games coming out. There'd be something maybe come out maybe once a month, once every other month. And when you got it, you played it until you couldn't see. That's the same thing with board games. There was a lot of board games that come out in a month. Now, you go to Gen Con or something. Excuse me. You're trying to decide, gee, which game am I going to get? There may be, back in the day, maybe one or two games or maybe 50 games that came out in a year. Okay? Not, 1,200, 1,300 like that have been coming out. Video games. How many video games come out? Independent stuff, this, that, and the other. No. When something new you were looking forward to, you saw it in the back of a comic or you saw it on, a commercial on TV, and you run down to your Kmart. That's when Kmart was around. There wasn't a GameStop or a KB Toys or KB Toys. Now I'm going back. A retro video game hub or Amazon where you can have it the next day. You had to sit and wait. Nothing ever came out nothing ever released with a date. And hold on, what's this? Hi, it's ATT. Due to a recent change to your account, you are no longer. Okay. My wife had to get new phones. But, do you remember those days? I think you remember those days and things more fondly because you played things through thoroughly because that's all you had. There were 3 channels on TV. Do you remember those programs better than the ones that you can watch today? Today's programs aren't the same. Well, there's 9 million programs. There's nothing to really hold your attention. There are things that are just absolutely fantastic that are on TV, and people can tell great stories. But back in the day, what was better than watching, the old Draculas and stuff like that, the Hammer movies, the sci-fi stuff. There were certain movies that you would sit there and watch. And in the early days of HBO didn't come on until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it would stay on till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. And then it would shut off for a while. Because we had it when it first came out. And we were amazed. We thought it was like the greatest thing. Our first cable box, we were one of the first people to get cable on our neighborhood. And you had this big cord in this box with this little switch. And you would finally get to watch different wrestling from different areas. But, back in the day, I thought the WWF was the greatest wrestling that ever lived. Chief Jay Strongbow, Billy White Wolf, Bruno Sammartino, Stan Hansen, and then, we'd go down to the New Haven Coliseum and then go watch all that stuff. But then when we started seeing other stuff like Georgia Championship Wrestling, AWA, the Von Erichs down in Texas, Portland, I can go on and on, Mid-South, you're like, oh my God, these guys are so much better. When it's all you have these just fantastic fond memories, and when you go back and visit it, you kind of go, oh boy, that wasn't as good as this or that. But like I said, it's 2 different things. And I know I'm rambling on and on, but all in all, you have to hold things accountable. And if they mean something to you and you had a great time with them, like Warhammer Quest, for me, the original Blood Bowl, the newer Blood Bowl is, better quality. The old Dungeon Bowl, came in a little box like that. I still have that because it means something. It's what it means to you and how you play things out. Skirmish. Skirmish, the old Milton Bradley game. We played that a million times. We played it wrong, but we played it a million times. Carrier Strike. Yeah, that's another one. You know, we played a million times. We played it wrong, but I keep it. Why? It's still fun to me because when I play it, it brings back a lot of memories. And is it the best carrier game? No. 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 What moves you? What makes a difference? You know, and that's how it kind of works. Watch the original Aliens last night. Great movie. I remember seeing that in the movie theater. I shat myself for sure. While Archon Studios, great. They've been very nice to me. Awakening Realms, they've been all right to me. And GameFound are in Poland. Of course they are, because great companies. Great companies. While crowdfunding culture drives people to be earlier than early adoption. Drives people to be earlier than earlier adoption. Yeah. You know, the crowdfunding thing. Now you're waiting in a different way, and people get agitated because people don't like to wait. People do not have long attention spans. You know, I remember some years ago, you know, when I criticized Descent, Legends of the Dark. You know, people were up in arms. They thought, you know, I was waiting for the pitchforks and torches to come to the house, and I was ready to fight each one of them. You know, it was just a stupid opinion. But it turned out I was right, because I said, nobody's going to be talking about this game a year from now. Nobody was talking about that game. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody talks about it now. Conan the Barbarian is a masterpiece. Sure is. I liked Conan the Destroyer better, though. That one was just, it meant something to me. I read the graphic novel by Roy Thomas. I have all my... she's not letting me get rid of my Conan collection ever. I love reading Conan's. Savage Sword of Conan's. I love the black and white magazines. You know, I remember, you know, again, you know, it's nice that now the comic books are delivered to me. But, you know, half the fun when I was a kid was, you know, trying to convince my parents or my friend who also collected with me to get his mom to drive us to Medcalf's, which was a drugstore here in the United States. And we'd go there, and then you have the spinning rack. And, you know, you didn't know when they were released, but you knew at the end of every week you can go there and you can get some comic books. And you didn't know what was coming out that week, and you would look and go, oh, whoa, grab one of those, grab one of those, grab one of those. And you buy the comic books, you would buy, then they had a magazine rack, you get your wrestling magazines, and then maybe one more magazine, whether it was Creepy or, you know, Savage Sword of Conan, depending when it was out. And then you would go home. Oh, I would also buy a bag of candy. For 25 cents, you could get as much candy as you can ever imagine. And we would go sit on his back porch, and we'd sit there and read. We read. What do you think about the... Hold on, I gotta put this on. The Millis movie? I haven't... I don't know what Millis is. I never saw it. I'm sorry. But, you know... Oh, hold on. More comments. I am just setting up a game of Conan for later. Have owned it for years, but have only just got around to painting it. Well, that's cool. Well, at least you get your money's worth out of it, you know? Even if you just paint it, you get your money, you get some type of enjoyment out of it. It's when it sits there in the wrapper and you don't do anything with it. And I've done that way too many times. And I'm just changing how I think, how I do things. And after 10 years of doing this, you know, it's time to take a look in the mirror and say, why am I doing this? And okay, we got 10 down. Do we want to do another 10? Well, if we do another 10, I'll be, like almost 80 years old. Do I want to be 80 years old? No, I do not. I want to be in front of a camera at 80 years old, drooling, and, my teeth falling out. My plastic teeth. No, I don't have any plastic teeth yet. And I got to decide if I, maybe I do. Maybe I do want to take it to that extent. I'm doing a lot of different things. I'm enjoying a lot of different things. One of the things, like I said, it's hard, because I really enjoy doing this. But, as my little girl gets older, my girls, Gabby and Bella, I really try to spend as much humanly possible time. I don't like going anywhere without them, because they're getting to that age where, it's going to be tough when they go. And, do I get another dog? I don't know. This is my first dog, and this dog has been on this channel since the very start. She really has. And, when we first got her, and, I have a video of when I first got her, and we were walking around, I was walking around with her, and, she was just this little fuzzy ball. Has been my best friend in the whole world. And I think, like I said, when I sit here and I think, was it worth it? Well, how about all those trips to Gen Con when I could have been taking her to a park? Or those trips to conventions, or times I spent out here when I could just been spending time with an animal that has meant so much to me. I've been spending more time with my wife. Someone who we've been married for, we got a really big wedding anniversary coming up this August. We do everything together. She has been just so glorious, and I just don't think I could put in any more than that. Hold on here. Let me take a look here. Marcus, how are you? Good day to everyone. Hey, Rob. Patrick, good morning. Conan the Barbarian, 1982 John Millis movie. Oh, you see, it's a funny thing. I don't pay it. I think the only director I know, certain directors, I don't follow a lot of directors. If I watch a movie, it's the movie. I couldn't tell you who directed the original Dracula. I couldn't. The only reason I know certain things with Godzilla is because I'm such a Godzilla nut, as you guys know. But if I watch something, I watch it for the movie, not who. I'm trying to think if there's a couple stars that I really enjoy. The 1982 Conan movie is glorious. Roger Corman, I'll remember him. Just because he made some fucked up movies. Tarantino, because they, that's all they do is talk about him. Sometimes sometimes the guy that's the quietest is, Kubrick. How can you not remember that? Things like that I'll remember. But I'm a big movie buff, but I couldn't tell you too many people that or what company made the movie and stuff like that. One of some of my favorite movies. As far as actors are concerned, I don't have a standout actor. Jeez. Harrison Ford, you have to like Harrison Ford in a way. Indiana Jones, Star Wars, he made that movie. Can't believe he wanted to kill off his character in the second movie because he just didn't want to play it. But you look at The Fugitive. I mean, I thought that was a great movie. I thought he was great in that. There were just a lot of different people that did a lot of things, but I've never been a big Hollywood guy. That's for sure. It was funny. We were in New York, and it was Christmas time. I'll never forget this. And we were walking in FAO shorts, and Victoria was small. I'd say she was about 7, and I just let her walk in this one particular aisle. And this kid comes over and starts talking to her and sitting, yapping with her and stuff like that. And they're talking about the toy together, right? And around the corner, the father comes looking for his son. Because his son had to be about 5 or 6. And I look up, and the father's Harvey Keitel. And now you would think that you would, as a fanboy, oh my God, hey, how you doing? And we'd just stand there, and I looked at him, he looked at me. I guess he expected to, have to go, oh hey, how you doing? The same old bullshit, and that he probably deals with everybody. And I just smiled at him. That was about it. And they were playing in this and the other, and so forth and so on. And I looked at him and I go, this place is packed. I can't stand when these places are packed. He goes, something? I hate coming around these places. If it wasn't for my wife wanting me to take the kid out, he goes, I'd be home right now watching, I forgot what he was talking about, what was going on sports-wise that day. And we just shot this shit for about a minute or two. And then I said, hey, take it easy, have a good day. That was it. I didn't ask for an autograph. Didn't go, oh my God, just let the guy be a human being. And, every time I see him on the thing, I think of that, that we were just sitting there, talking just like normal people, which was kind of, for me, it was just kind of nice, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, Was I like, oh wow, this guy, I seen this guy in this and this, he's a really good actor. But sometimes you just gotta let people be people. And that's, and I think sometimes they appreciate that. I don't know, but I was never somebody to go gaga over anything. I remember when I, talking about fame and stuff like that. I was in high school, and oh God, this is going back 1,000 years. Let me see if I can remember this. And I had these girls that were friends of mine. They were just friends. And I was the only one with a car. I remember I had a 66 Mustang. And they go, can you take us down to the Agora Ballroom? I go, why? What's going on? They go, well, you know Aerosmith. I go, yeah. Well, the Joe Perry project's going to be playing there, and during school, can we skip because we will hopefully want to meet him at the sound check? I go, all right, come on, let's go. So we get in the car and we drive down New Haven, and they're waiting outside the Agora Ballroom. And they're setting up everything. They got the doors open. This was springtime, I think it was. And sure enough, this big car pulls up, and he gets out with his wife, and his wife was like rude as all hell, but the girls were like losing their minds, and I'm just standing there. And he looks over at me, and I just nod my head. I didn't care. They got autographs and tried to get pictures, and you know, now would I do the same thing for John Wetton? God rest his soul. I don't know. You know, I was always a big Rush fan and things like that, but I don't think I would bother those guys. Matter of fact, Neil Peart never wanted to be bothered. Patrick, good morning. I think I said good morning. But, you know, it's just funny how it all just comes together. How long have I been on? An hour and 1 minute. It's amazing how I can chew up an hour and just, yeah. So, you know, let's just close this up with this, okay? It has been a roller coaster doing this. There's been some incredibly great moments, and there's been some moments where the internet can really be stupid. And I'm surprised that I've lasted this long. And I'm pretty proud of my body of work. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Recently, you know, because of internet issues and stuff like that, you know, we live out on a farm now. You know, I haven't been able to give you my best. And I will just keep continuing trying to do the best I can. How's that? But, you know, I've got, what's today? I got about 22 days before, 21 days, excuse me, before, you know, I come on here live. And I tell you what my intentions are going forward on the 10th year anniversary. And Rodney knows my early thoughts. We talked about it. And I'll expand more about that on that day. But right now, kind of trying to get a feel for everything. I think, you know, be ready. Another auction coming up real soon. This next one is probably emotionally toughest for me, because now I'm down to a point where, you know, there are just things I'm looking at and going, oh God, I don't want to get rid of that, but I need to get rid of that. And I think you guys, is there a game you are, let me answer this question before I close this out. Is there a game you are looking forward to today? You know something, I really don't know a lot what's coming out this year. The one thing I am looking forward to, and it should be here in a day or two, is Elder Scrolls, the new Chip Theory game that came out. Everybody else and their brother has it, and Chip Theory was nice enough to send me a copy of it. You know, they wanted to make sure that they got copies out to the big channels that they can get a big push from. And then, you know, they always take care of me at some point. And I'm always so thankful for them. And I really am. They're just such wonderful people. You know, that's the one thing I loved about gaming, was meeting those individuals. Because when I was a little itty bitty channel with only like 800, 900 people, you know, they were always very nice, and they said, you know, we watch your stuff. I go, really? I go, you're probably the only ones. And I bought a whole bunch of stuff so I can ship it home. because I just love their games. I said, I love your stuff. And I was getting ready to go to the UPS store, and one of the guys came running up with Undertow, and they go, listen, here's a review copy, a prototype of Undertow. We'd like you to review it. I was blown away by that. I go, really? You want me to do it? I mean, you've got so many other channels. They go, no. We want you to do it. And I remember it was the only thing I didn't ship home. I held on to it, and I read it at night. I read it in the airport. I started playing around with it in the airport, and then I got home and I played it, and then I wanted to get the video out as quick as I could, and I got that video out, and I was just so thankful to them for such a great company, because their booths are like through the roof, fantastic, and they're just great people to begin with. I love those guys. Boy, I got thrown off track there, didn't I? Well, let me answer this one too. Can you build a storage shed on your property instead of renting one? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 sheds on the property right now. No, what it really comes down to be honest with, is I'm on the back 9 of life, okay? And I am trying to get to the clubhouse, okay? In life, I like to say that I'm about even par right now. And I'd like to maybe in the next couple holes get a birdie and then go to the clubhouse knowing I had a good round. Sign my card, and that's that. Along the way, I'm starting to look at what am I going to be able to play, and where I could probably store this and hand it down to my grandkids. I think what I want to do is get it down to a point where it makes gaming fun again. And what do I mean by that? I want to get it down to a point where I have a certain amount of games. I can play them, have fun, get a lot of use out of them, and then whatever's left, the kids maybe have those memories the way I had memories of Carrier Strike or so forth and so on. Not a big mountain of stuff where they go, well, we never played that with Grandpa, but or our father. So what's the point of it? Psst. And it doesn't mean anything. Get it down to where it means something for the family, and I think that's what works. Chris Martin, my brother, what's up? Good morning, Rob. Got the bases, and they are amazing. What a steal that was, wasn't it, Chris? I mean, that was a tremendous steal, you have to admit. All right? Congratulations. You deserve it. You're a good guy. I knew I was getting killed on that. But the thing, Chris, and to be honest, when I have somebody as loyal and as kind as you have been through the years, I don't mind giving it away, more or less. Okay? And that makes me happy because I know they'll make you happy. And it's kind of my thank you of saying, hey, you know something, you're a good dude. I appreciate you. And that's how I feel on certain things. But we got more auctions like that, and probably next week we're going to be talking about the next auction. My wife and I are going to be working on it this week. These next 2 are going to be huge. They're going to be big, meaning of good quality, through the roof stuff, because that's what's left. And the hard decisions I got to make, and I'm going to throw up in my mouth a little bit. But in closing, like I said, it's been a wild ride. It's been very rewarding. And like I said a little earlier, it has also been very disappointing with how people are in the internet. And disappointing with, and yet rewarding, meeting other channels. A lot of good people, and a lot of fake ass scumbags, to put it short. And I'll stand by that. But the good people, man, boy, they really make this hobby shine. They really do, and God bless them. Me, I'm just a guy that does this and has a lot of fun, and I'm kind of like all over the place, and I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm thankful for all the people. I'm thankful for every one of you that have followed, watched, commented, come and, who have met me at a convention or whatever. No idea there were so many. Going to give some to our local D&D club at my nephew's school. Very cool. I told you there was a lot, bro. Nobody listens to me when I say, hey, there's a lot of shit here. But all in all, let's see what the next 21 days brings. And I think, I've done some videos that I'm very proud of, and we'll go from there, day by day. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. I've told you that a million times. And I remember an old saying I used to say all the time on this channel. I mean, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. And I kind of feel that way about you guys that watch here every Sunday morning, or watch it a little later on replay. God bless you. I love you. I love you guys more than you can ever imagine. And thank you so much for getting me this far. I couldn't have done it without you. I wouldn't, and without your support. So, with that said, I'm going to get my day going. It's Sunday, which means I got to go to the dump. Yeah, what a great life. Until next time, my dear friends, it is your old pal Rob. Be good. We'll see you next week. We got a lot to talk about in this month that sparks our 10th year anniversary of doing this on YouTube. Love you all. Have a great day. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.